Phone lines have been white hot to the touch, and for those watching on the television audience network, I think the FCC might be on one of those phone lines because Timothy Olyphant just dropped some of. I don't even know if George Carlin included those words, the words that you can't say.
Were they not? He only had 7, I believe, I recall.
Justified on FX, one of the best shows on television. Joining me here now is the star of that show, Timothy Olyphant. Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you, too.
So this is a tradition now. I'm going to call it
This is a tradition.
Because last year, after Super Bowl 48, you came in to promote the latest iteration of the show. And so now, 2 years in a row, we could call it a coincidence, but I prefer to call it a tradition, if you may.
The challenge next year will be, will I have anything to promote?
Well, to me, that doesn't.
That could be the only problem.
To me, that doesn't matter. And to me, deep down, I hope that you somehow continue. This thing's over, right? Justified is over? This is the last season?
It is over, yes.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. I don't know whose bright idea that was. But it was fun.
Okay. I mean,
the show's been amazing.
It is amazing is a great word for it. It has been amazing.
It's been a good gig.
It gets better each year, and the second episode of the season is sitting on my DVR at home because I was working all last week in Arizona. The season premiere this year.
It was a good one.
It was a good one because
I feel our even years are very strong.
Well, I mean, so that's sort of
that's why we're going out on an even, I think.
That's sort of like for the baseball. I think Brett Saberhagen won his Cy Youngs in even years.
Was that right?
So maybe you're the Brett Saberhagen of television dramas.
I like it. It has a nice ring to it.
Well, it certainly, has a lot of syllables to it. So where did you watch the game last night, Timothy?
Home.
You were at home?
We were at the house.
Okay. What'd you think of Super Bowl 49?
What everybody else thinks.
Which is?
What the hell are they thinking there?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean,
what the hell are they thinking?
That's what I was thinking too, just sitting there, but just stunned. The stadium was stunned, and I've never seen momentum switch where the Seattle fans were ready to celebrate another coronation and Patriot fans were in the dumps, and in 2 seconds, it completely flipped.
Yeah, it's like that, what's his name used to say about the Olympic Games, right? Or what was that, what was the old Wide World of Sports?
Yeah, the thrill of victory.
Oh, man.
And the agony of defeat.
It's all right there. People keep talking to me about the golden age of television, and I assume that's what they're talking about. Sports.
Right.
Because that is good drama.
Right there.
I mean, that was amazing.
I know. What did you think when...
that catch.
Right.
Prior. 2-3 plays earlier?
Yeah, 2 plays earlier.
2 plays earlier. That's as good as it gets.
It does. And the Patriots...
And then it was washed away.
Just in two plays later. And Tom Brady went from maybe a 3-time loser of the Super Bowl to a 4-time winner of the event.
He's incredible. He's out there in that game. He doesn't know what he's playing with. They give him a beach ball. He can't feel it. He's just in a zone.
Well, I thought you were going there with a beach ball with the PSIs. I thought you were going with the football right there. I like that.
He doesn't know what he's playing with.
Yeah, and
he doesn't know.
I don't think he cares.
Once the game starts, he can't feel it anymore. He doesn't know what he's doing out there. It's amazing. Did we stumble into deflate-gate talk?
We did. What'd you think about that? Because I think it was a bunch of crap from the beginning. But people accuse me of being an NFL employee and just trying to...
So let's see if we just mean, if we're talking about the same bunch of crap.
Okay.
Everybody's acting like there's a big mystery. But if the balls have been changed, there's only one reason the balls have been changed, because the quarterback wants them that way.
Well,
right?
Now that was the assumption. But the thing that I thought was a bunch of crap is we have yet to learn just how deflated these footballs really were.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Now, see, I'm just talking without facts.
No. Which, by the way, most of the United States of America, in my mind, has been doing the last 2 weeks.
About how deflated they were.
Yes. Like, in many ways, to make it sound like you are playing with a beach ball, and we didn't know. So, and we tested it out here. I couldn't tell the difference, but I'm just a mere mortal on planet Earth.
Really?
Yes.
You couldn't tell the difference between what and what?
Between a football blown up to the maximum legal limit of 13.5 PSI.
Right.
And then one deflated to 2 pounds of pressure below the minimum allowed.
Couldn't feel the difference.
But 13.5 and 10.5, Couldn't tell the difference. But then again, I am a guy who goes into the produce section and needs help to find out what cantaloupe I can have for tomorrow.
Interesting.
You know?
Interesting.
Can you do that? Or do you go into the produce, know what's ripe and what isn't? Can you do that? Timothy
Not my
Olyphant?
expertise.
Okay.
But in terms of most sporting, anything that you do, sports-wise, like if you're playing I haven't played in that kind of intense professional football, so I'm.
Yes.
But
yes.
if you're playing a pickup basketball game, if you're playing in a basketball league, and someone throws you a ball, you take one dribble, you're like, this thing's flat.
You can feel it.
Isn't that what everybody's like?
Well,
when you watch the Australian Open, which I can't believe we're not all talking about that.
Well, Serena is a legend with her 6th singles
Djokovic,
victory. Yeah.
8, Murray. But like you watched in the semifinals, the Australian Open.
Yeah.
Djokovic is out there playing Wawrinka. It's an intense, intense match. And he is going through rackets left and right because he doesn't like the feel of the pressure. He's changing his strings. He's going and pulling another one. He's fiddling with it to just get this, because it's such precision. He's hyper aware of the feel of the ball, the feel of the strings, the weather, everything about the game in the middle of that intense match. So and isn't that the way most athletes are? So
you're saying Brady would definitely be able to tell the difference?
Well, it all fell apart when he did that press conference and said he went through such a. He wants the balls just so. I just want them just the way I want them. But once the game starts, I have no idea.
And then a game like the Super Bowl starts in which they don't touch the footballs, that the NFL had them pretty much under lock and key for the entirety of the 2 days before, and he sets a record for most completions. He almost throws to 400 yards, and he wins a Super Bowl. So the question is even if he does like it just so, and it's a couple pounds of pressure
I'm not saying
less.
that the whole thing is not sort of silly. I mean, the fact that maybe the rule itself is actually quite silly. I'm not debating that or if it affects the game at all. Just debating. I mean, if we're just talking about the simplicity of taking the balls once they're from the officials and then manipulating them in a way that is apparently against the rules.
Yes.
That seems to be like, why are we pretending it's a mystery?
Or you are saying that the NFL should take a page from the Australian Open and call for new balls every so often, right? Just like new balls, please, and just run them out. What do you think? What do you think of that?
I don't know. Yeah, it seems. I mean,
we could do
it's
that.
like NBA. They're not like, hey, it's you're on offense, so here's your ball, and you're on offense, so everybody's playing with the same. I don't.
Right.
That's sort of surprising when you found out. Did you know that they're playing with different, like that quarterback's playing with balls he has just so.
Yes.
That quarterback's playing with just so. I had no idea.
I know all about the quarterback's ball situation. Because I'm a professional, Timothy Oliphant. I'm a professional.
I can't believe we went to deflate-gate so
I
quickly
can't
after
believe
talking about the game.
I know. I just thought, like, you know, I'm trying to move past. I'm trying to turn the page here because I think it's a bunch of bunk. But we'll see when it all happens. I've got Justified's Timothy Olyphant here. We're going to take a 60-second break and come back, talk more Super Bowl. We're going to talk about the game a little bit more. And then I want your halftime thoughts and analysis.
Yeah, sure.
Because you had, last year it was the Chili Peppers?
The Chili Peppers were,
they were unplugged.
Yeah,
they were ghost playing guitar.
Yeah, and you had some choice words about that last year on our podcast. It was great. Katy Perry, I think she was singing. And we'll get your thoughts
She was
on
singing.
That. Oh, yeah.
She was roaring.
Back in 60 seconds here on The Rich Eisen Show with Timothy Olyphant. Welcome back to The Rich Eisen Show. I am sitting here with Justified's Timothy Olyphant. At JustifiedFX is how you can follow the Twitter doings of one of the best shows on television that returned for its final season a couple of Tuesdays ago, and it's on every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on FX. And you used to do a sports talk radio show, did you?
Yes. Well, I called in the sports on a indie punk rock station here in L.A. for, I think, like 2 years.
What do you mean? You called? You gave the sports report on a podcast
I'd phone in every morning.
Okay.
Usually with the newspaper on me.
Just reading off the stats.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, would you want to take a phone call or two here?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
There we go. Let's take some phone calls on the Rich Eisen Show with Timothy Olyphant. Alan in Shelton, Washington. Alan, you are on the Rich Eisen Show.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, Rich. I really love you. You're great.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to congratulate the Patriots because that last night was a great Super Bowl. I waited 40 years for my dream Super Bowl. Didn't disappoint. Second of all, I wanted to say, Pete Carroll, you should be fired. I want to know how much money you got paid for making that play last night, because every person in the world that knows anything about football would have ran that ball.
Thank you for the call, Alan. You want to respond to that one for me, Tim?
You're tough, Alan. You're tough. What's it like growing up under your roof? I mean, like 20 years of good calls, one bad call, you're out.
Out, fired.
You're out.
I mean, come on.
Out. You want him out of there? That's ridiculous.
What about all the calls that got him to the 1 yard line?
That's right.
Don't matter.
That's why fan is short for fanatic.
I'm not saying it's a bad call. It was a bad call. Would it have been a bad call if they'd caught that ball?
He'd have been a genius. It would have been a genius.
And people would have been talking, why didn't Belichick call a timeout on the play before?
It would have went the other way.
And
That's
Tom
sports,
Brady
man.
throwing interceptions in the end zone.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he threw 2 picks. Brady threw 2 picks. Instead, he's MVP. Oh,
I do think it was an overthinking. All I know is at our house,
Yes.
after the crazy catch,
Yeah.
and I thought, I remember saying, that's going to have a name. That catch is about to have a name.
What would be the name? What
I
would have
don't.
been the
I don't
name?
know. We'll never know.
The curse?
Because they lost.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, you know, as we all know, the Red Sox had the curse of the Bambino. That
For
would have been
86
the
years.
curse of the. What is it?
The deflated balls.
Curse of the deflated. I think there's a pill for that, actually. But you have to consult your doctor. Consult your doctor. John in Boston. Let's take a call from Boston. Johnny, you're on the Rich Eisen Show with Timothy Olyphant.
How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing well. What's going on?
Hey, listen. The one thing I wanted to say that I seen some stats today that when they were trying to, Lynch was up against the 1 yard line 5 times this year, and he only got him 1 time out of the 5 times on the 1 yard line. Mm-hmm. And everyone's saying, "Oh, why didn't they push him in?" Who knows if he would even have got in?
I hear you. I mean, that's John in Massachusetts. So we've had an extra from Goodwill Hunting and now an extra from the Departed calling today. Did you tell he's from Massachusetts? But that's not a bad point right there. I guess if you think that Lynch is 1 for 5, why can't he be 2 for 6?
the tough thing with the quick slant is also like a lineman's hand could have got on that, batted it up
drill,
too, and it didn't.
all that
That's what
stuff.
I'm surprised. I love I don't love it, but a pass call is okay. But like we said, a fade or something where it just can't be picked.
Well, there's a question I've always wanted to ask the man who played Sheriff Bullock in Deadwood and Raylan Gibbons on Justified. What'd you think of Katy Perry last night, Timothy Olyphant?
I thought, you know.
Sublime? Would that be the word?
She seems.
What'd
She
you think?
seems very bright. Big eyes and bright. She
Yeah.
was soaring.
Yeah.
Lots of colors.
She rode in on a lion.
A mechanical tiger.
But is
or
that a
whatever,
tiger?
or a
A
lion.
tiger or a lion,
I don't
yeah.
know.
It was
you think?
something that roared. It went with the song.
She danced with sharks in a beach ball?
Beach ball. You know, and she was flying there.
Yeah.
And
What'd you think?
I'll be honest with you, I came in late to it.
Okay.
And I saw her flying through the stadium.
The more you know, star.
And my daughters were there, and they were eating it up.
Okay.
And I couldn't help myself.
Uh-oh.
I said, girls, if I was on that thing, people would be going crazy. Look at that spectacle.
So it's the presentation.
It's like you put anyone on there. It's pretty awesome.
It's the system.
Look at the dude flying around.
Now, if you, Timothy Olyphant, were flying around like that.
You belt me to that thing, put me up there.
Yeah. What song choice would you sing? What would you have been singing?
Doesn't matter.
Really?
It was awesome looking.
Yeah, it was a spectacle. And the fireworks were going through the roof of the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids
And
were
then I
going
was like,
crazy.
too bad they don't have a budget. I mean, that thing was a spectacle. That's amazing.
Well, the thing
Here's my thing.
Uh-huh.
I'll be alone on this, I'm sure.
I don't know.
I sit there and I'm like, wow. Super Bowls, I think it'd be amazing if Super Bowls, the halftime show, was specific to the place the Super Bowl took place.
Okay, so like a Phoenix theme?
Yeah, and all I could come up with was Tom Petty.
Well, he did the Super Bowl in Indianapolis.
Yeah, see, I
So-
don't get this whole Super Bowl, we're going to be in New Orleans, but then, you should have the Neville brothers out there doing halftime, right? And then you should be in, You know what I'm getting at?
No. I know exactly what you're saying.
Seattle, they should be like Pearl Jam's, the halftime show.
Well,
Tom,
when
like that
Tom
would be
did Super Bowl 42 in Arizona last time.
Oh, was that in
He
Arizona?
did.
He did?
Tom Petty did.
Oh, he did. I thought it was
the last
Indianapolis.
time it was there.
So no, but
Oh,
I thought a lot
so-
of people thought when the Detroit Super Bowl they should have had a whole Motown situation or Stevie Wonder. They went Rolling Stones instead. They went Rolling Stones.
This is I'm a sucker for wanting it to be regional.
So, but you're all about the presentation. Is essentially what you're saying. That if you were flying around on the More You Know star, as Chris Law called it, right, or Dancing with Sharks, it wouldn't have mattered. Dancing with Sharks. It's a great movie. I think.
I'm a little. That Missy Elliott's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
she was
that.
great. And so Kravitz.
She's amazing.
Lenny Kravitz.
We're not saying Missy Elliott wasn't amazing, but that song she sang was 12 years old.
What's the matter with that?
I'm just saying that's the part I was like, I like this.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey.
I agree. I'm with you.
I want to talk about your show, Justified, on FX.
I'm just saying Missy Elliott's cool. That's
Yeah, no,
all.
no,
I'm
no.
saying.
I'm agreeing with you.
I'm just saying she came out and I'm like, where's she been? This chick's cool.
Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern on FX, Justified. What can you tell us about the final season? Give me a little hint. You got something for me?
What can I tell you?
You tell me. I mean, does it go in a direction that we already haven't seen? Is there something that just a little breadcrumb? Just a little breadcrumb you can give me for the end of the show.
It's hopefully like what we always go with the show. We are going to give you the what is both completely feels unexpected.
Okay.
And yet, of course, that's the way it ended.
So is there closure?
How else
Is
could
there
it
is there closure? There's closure here.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's. I like it.
Okay.
I think it's gonna end cool.
Okay.
I think it's gonna end cool.
Did you ever talk with Elmore Leonard about how the show is going to end? Did that ever happen before he
No, in
passed
fact,
away?
he and I never talked about the show. I mean, we talked about the show in
Okay.
that he would ask me about certain actresses. That was
Like what she like, or
That was more or less what when we talked about the show. That was more or less
Fantastic.
what he was interested in.
that's what he was. So you, Timothy Olyphant, say Justified, based on an Elmore Leonard story,
Yes.
would be only talking to Elmore Leonard. And Elmore Leonard was only trying to pick your brain about some of the babes you were working with, essentially, is what you're saying.
We rarely talked about the show when
Okay.
we got together.
Okay.
But every now and then he would say to me, "That woman who plays your ex-wife, what's she like?"
As an actress?
And then I,
Fantastic.
of course, would keep it classy. Nothing.
of
It was on
course.
the up and
You're
up. I think
professional.
he was asking about her talent or
Yes, of
her
course.
history has she ever done Shakespeare, things like that. and then he'd say, "I also like that detective, the marshal at the office there, Erica. She's really good. What's she like? You guys should. You should put her in the show more. Why isn't she in the show more?"
Oh, man.
A lot of those. I love that stuff.
Well, I'm going to say that about you. Why aren't you on the show more here? And because I can't wait to have you back here.
It's
I
great to
appreciate
be
it.
here.
Thank you,
Thank
Timothy.
you. Thank you very
And
much.
congrats again on another great start to a Justified season that I cannot wait to see how it culminates. And you are welcome here anytime, okay? Please
Thank
come
you.
back.
Thank
bet.
you.
Justified, Tuesdays, 10 p.m. on FX, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Timothy Olyphant has been here talking about Super Bowl 49. When we come back, more of your phone calls, 844-204-RICH. And I believe Michael Chiklis, big Patriot fan,
Yep.
he is confirmed for hour number 3. We've already had Ray and Wilson calling in. This is how we're going to break, huh, Del Tufo?
Nice job, Del Tui.
Nicely done. Spinning the records for Timothy Olyphant as we send him out the door into that gentle afternoon here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.